Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live. Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live. Welcome to V Talks on this lovely January evening here in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts. I hope everyone is enjoying their 2021. I know I am. And I feel like things are going to continue to get better and better. And with V Talks every Tuesday night, I think we're going to help you achieve just that. So we have a fun show. Tonight's topic is called relationship non-communication. We all go through it. I know you do. You and your partner, the person that's with you under the same roof, you should have the absolute most amazing connection. You should be able to read each other's minds, read each other's thoughts. But that's not what happens, is it? The person that you're closest to seems to be the one that you have the most conflict with, and it's so frustrating. But our guest tonight is going to help us get through all of that, from taking out the garbage to things that should be happening in the bedroom. Our relationship therapist, Andrew Aaron, is going to help us get through all of this. He's a relationship therapist. He is an author. He is a radio personality. He is a contributor to SoCo magazine, and he is our dear friend here on the V Talks. Please welcome Andrew Aaron. And we are going to bring him on hopefully soon. There we go. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Veronica.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited because we have an announcement to make. Andrew is going to be on our show every month. The second Tuesday of each month, we're going to have a new topic. And I'm absolutely thrilled because I know you were going to help so many people, including me.
Well, that is the goal. And I'm honored that you invited me to be a regular guest. And because that provides me such an opportunity to help so many people. I'm just hoping that the listeners listen carefully and can take away some really useful information that can make their lives better tonight.
I'm really excited. It's an honor and to have you here. It really, really is, because I respect your opinion so much. So let's talk about the topic, relationship non-communication. What does that mean exactly?
What that means is different than the intention that partners have when they get involved in a love relationship, when they really just want to get closer and closer to the one they've chosen. Unfortunately, a lot of couples fall into this pit of what I call romantic non-communication. And it's a state where, because of differences between partners and because of different needs and because of different ways to communicate, that walls are built that interfere with connection. Unfortunately, a lot of couples fall into this pit.
So what you're saying is, when your partner maybe doesn't unload the dishwasher, or when your partner maybe is watching the game while you have the kids running around, you're saying that ultimately can affect things not only in the living room but in the bedroom.
Absolutely. Well, when it comes to intimacy is very holistic. So everything that's happening in our lives, it doesn't just stop at the threshold of our bedroom door. It comes into the bedroom, unfortunately. So when couples don't have good connection because they become frustrated, they become hurt, they're not understood, then absolutely, that can pour water on the flames of passion.
So, how common is this problem? Because you're a therapist, obviously, and you see a lot of couples on a scale of like 1 to 10, like on issues. Is this
Mhm.
a, a 10?
Very close to it. I'd say it's probably 80 to 85% of those people who reach out to me because they're in pain and they're suffering. When they first call and I say, how come you've reached out? What's going on? They refer to communication. That's like the ticket in to therapy, couples counseling, marriage counseling, and ultimately, hopefully, positive change. And that is the statement that says, we just can't communicate.
And so these small things add up.
Yes.
And the last time you were on our show, you said something about you were some quote about paper cuts. Do you remember what that was? I was trying
Hmm.
to remember. What
Yeah.
was that? What was
I
the quote?
say
Do
it
you
to
remember?
lots and lots of couples, and that is marriages die a death of 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah. So it's these little things that add up over time that tear the relationship apart bit by bit.
Yes,
So,
that's an accumulation of pain.
so what happens when you have two people in two partners and only one partner is willing to go to therapy? Is there a Do you have a plan in place for something like that?
Well, yeah, that happens a lot.
I
What
would
I
think so.
what I
Yeah.
encourage in a moment like that is for the eager partner to actually come in and start the work. And what I usually seek to do in moments like that is work with the eager partner to learn about maybe some of the objections of the resistant partner. And
Okay.
what I seek to do is to melt away, to eliminate the problems that may support the resistance of the hesitant partner, right? To clear the way so that the resistant partner is more eager to join in the conversation for positive change and growth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of people on that would like to ask a question, um, and I would like to bring Jen Rizzio onto the screen because I actually know what her question is, and it's a common one. So
Okay.
I'm gonna she and I actually didn't get to chat ahead of time, so she's probably like, I'm going on now. She's laughing. I can see her in the green room. Back room, green room. What are we calling it? It's the green room. All right. Green room. Hi,
Oh, let me
Jen.
move over.
Yeah,
Hi,
can you move
Andrew.
over? We
Nice to.
didn't get you all centered. Normally,
I'm trying to get all situated
did
here.
you
Andrew,
did you try the Chrome? Did that work better?
you guys are still glitching, but I can hear you a lot better. Every once in a while, Andrew might glitch, but then it clears itself out. So it's great to
Okay.
meet you. Great
Okay,
to
well
meet you.
you look good here, so I think
I
we're all
do.
set.
I
So
tried to light a
yes,
nice fire for
Oh,
ambiance.
it's beautiful.
it's quite romantic.
Yes, it
Hmm.
is.
So Jen, you had a question for Aaron. What was
Well, I
that?
had a couple of questions. So,
Oh, all right.
yeah,
Let's rock and roll.
I know. I'm laughing. So when there are things that need to be done around the house, hence, let's say I'm put stuff on the stairs, right? And all of those things that are on the stairs need to make it up the stairs. And then the stuff at the top of the stairs need to make it to the bottom of the stairs. So it's like moving things onto different floors, having 3 children that live in my household and my husband. Why do those people walk by those things on the stairs when they know that they need to
Infuriating.
go up? Huh?
Do they walk
Hmm.
by
It's
or do they actually
infuriating.
climb
Yes.
over them?
So I'm a cool cucumber, I want to say. I don't get angry very often. I do not. I definitely pull my weight. My husband is a hard worker. I love him. My daughter Fiona, who's staring at me to the right, you just can't see her eyes piercing in front of me right now. She's a great help. But there are things that clearly can sit in front of you. They can walk.
Oh, okay. well, she'll probably be back on, but I think you get the gist of her question.
Mm-hmm. And that is
Yeah.
one of those paper cuts, Veronica, right? It's the kind of thing.
We had to talk about the bag on the front step, right? It was there for
Yes.
months. Oh, it happens here.
Mhm.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's one of those little things. It's not big, but because it
Well,
happens
now you
12
say that
times
it's
a
not
day.
big. I think it's pretty big to Jen. I'm bringing her back on. Hold on, let's see if we got her back.
Can you guys see me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I think
Oh, there you
so.
are.
Yeah.
There's
So he's answering.
my end, but I guess my question is, how can I
He.
communicate to the one that I love and to the family that lives with me in this house to help out a little bit more without me being the nag all the time that says, so and so, can you bring that up the stairs? Do you mind emptying that? Could you put the laundry away? Could you switch the laundry over? Could you bring that up to the top of the stairs? Because I don't know, it just makes me feel not so good. It's a common thing. It's in front of you. So can we all
Mhm.
just come together as a team and make things run efficiently around here?
And Jen, how
So
many
what?
times a day would you say that someone walks by that stuff without moving it?
Unfortunately, I can't understand what you guys are saying. So I'm going to let you go from there because my camera is stuttering and I do certainly apologize.
We
Yeah.
got you covered, babe.
Oh, good.
We got you covered. But thank you. Thank
My,
you.
my mother-in-law has worked with you before, Joan Rule, and she speaks so highly of you and is so
No,
happy that you'll be on this show once a month. She last show very much.
well, thank you.
We're gonna get her on asking questions.
Yay, that was great. Okay, awesome.
All right, sweet pea. Bye. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think that's one of those paper cuts I talked about. It's not that you might think, well, it's a big deal. And certainly for Jen, it feels like a big deal because I suspect that that problem has been happening for a long time. And when a problem occurs chronically, again and again, the pain from it, the frustration from it just accumulates. And the longer the problem remains unsolved, the larger amount of emotion gets attached to that problem.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You know, there's actually somebody had written in here, and they had another question that sort of is relatable here. So Susan wrote. Wait, hold on a minute. I'm trying to find what it was. But anyway, it just had something to do with, they know it upsets me. They clearly see it upsets me. Why don't they just think independently and go, wow, this stuff's on the stairs and we're all tripping on it. Somebody's going to fall. Maybe I should take it upstairs. Like, and
What a
so I
thought,
think, what a thought, you know, and I think that's where the frustration level comes in. I can see Jen laughing. This is where the frustration level comes in, right? Because it's a really simple thing to do, and it clearly is hurting you. Like, you know, we're all feeling this right now. It doesn't matter, you know, we're all feeling this when somebody just completely disregards your
right?
feelings and
Oh,
completely
absolutely.
disregards your wishes and just would rather climb over it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of a big deal.
Well,
No?
the end result
Look, you can see
is
I'm
a
like
big
all
deal.
upset now. Jen, I'm with you, girl. Yeah.
Yeah, the end result, Veronica, is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
The impact on our mood, the impact on quality of life, the impact on the connection between partners, right? And when this isn't solved, this becomes a factor, an element, a piece of the romantic non-communication, right? Because if Jen has said, "Oh, please, honey, would you just do this? Would you change your behavior and bring the stuff upstairs and bring the stuff downstairs? I'd really appreciate it." And then he doesn't do it. Now it's going to be much harder for her to talk with him,
Right? It's just
to
like
open up to him, right? Yeah. And then when she opens her mouth, all this is going to come out. And that won't be so
Yes.
good either, right?
Yes.
And I suspect for Jen, this is one issue among 20 that
It's
she
a paper
wishes.
cut.
Yeah, It's
Sweep the
all
cotton.
these. It's like snowflakes in a snowstorm, Veronica. They're,
Yeah.
no one snowflake is all that big, but when you've got a million of them, boy, it sure
Whoa,
makes a
break out the
difference.
shovel.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. So communication also occurs within an environment, and that environment, a house, an apartment, the relationship also has a climate, right? And that climate is maybe warm or maybe it's cold. And the climate is determined by how partners have treated each other and how open partners have been and how partners are willing or open to the influence of the other partner. And if influence has not been offered, well, that environment gets pretty cold when there's a lot of anger built up, right?
Yeah.
And that environment, that climate can be impacted by lots of different behaviors over time. And when there's an unfavorable environment, it doesn't support communication, understanding, or influence, right? And Jen wants to influence her husband so that he will consider what's important to him, to her, and make behavior change. But sometimes partners don't change because they're rebelling, because
Interesting.
they're upset themselves. Sometimes they're not even conscious of it, right? I'm not going to
Interesting.
cooperate because I'm not getting what I need or I'm resentful. So there are other reasons, right? Some people
Yeah.
are honestly forgetful or they're not observant and they don't think about it. But in a love relationship, to honor our partner, we really must make every effort to bring our best, right? And that's not just in the beginning of the relationship when it's new and exciting, but that's every day of our life. And that takes a lot of effort and energy. But if we do it, Veronica, we're well rewarded, right?
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, that was kind of my opening today. It's like the person, your life partner, the person you
Yeah,
share
right.
everything with, that should be the best communication. But
And
oftentimes it's
yeah,
the worst. You don't give that person the best because they should just understand. Right? They should
that's the
just get
expectation.
it. Yeah, they
Yeah,
should just
yeah.
understand. You know, you always put on like your best behavior for new people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just think I'm the best, right? Like I'm so nice, that's so great. But let me tell you what,
Absolutely.
you don't load that dishwasher, you might see another side. But it
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be that way, right?
In a perfect world, no.
No, it shouldn't be that way. You
Mm-hmm.
should be bringing your best all the time. But what happens if one person is bringing their best and the other one isn't?
We have a dumpster fire.
We have a
That's what we
dumpster
have.
fire.
Yeah, it can get pretty ugly, and in a lot of relationships, it does get very ugly because there's a lot of pain, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
There's a nice saying that I like, and it says, the more intimately we know somebody, the more clearly we see their flaws.
right? It's true, right?
Yeah, and when we have a friend or an acquaintance, we're not really intimate with them. We see their best. We don't really see their character flaws, but our partner, we do. And we
Yeah.
live with that every day, day after day, month, year, and decade, right?
Those things used to be so cute.
Yeah, they're not so cute
Yeah.
anymore.
Not so cute anymore, Jen. This is
Yeah,
not cute and we leave stuff on the
yeah.
stairs.
When we see the good, the bad, and the ugly about a partner, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what our marriages and love relationships are really for. They're really for our growth, our uh, increase in our capacity to love ourselves, to hopefully love the partner, to love life, to love other people, and the demands, the rigor of a love relationship is really life trying to teach us to be more capable and have greater capacity to love. But along the way, it's arduous. It's really hard. So for Jen, I would suggest that she talk to her husband gently, not in a moment when the problem of stuff on the stairs is actually eating at her, but at a positive
Yeah.
time, right? And to say softly with a soft words, low volume. The reason why I say that is because men tend to react very badly to sharp language or loud.
Shrilling.
Yeah, they shut down
Screaming.
because they experience it as disrespectful, and that will not be influential.
No.
No, no, it doesn't
So
work.
so we take our voice down to
Yes,
a lower tone.
right, right. Yep. And
Okay.
we
This is
said,
a whole nother show actually because
yeah.
we're gonna I could actually say legitimately if I speak at my normal tone level, my husband doesn't hear me.
Oh,
Like he
really?
won't even acknowledge. Oh yeah, but if I change my pitch, he'll go what?
Yeah.
I actually learned that on my
He's
own.
fine-tuned that bandwidth, and at that
Right?
frequency, he just doesn't hear it anymore.
He and it's not that he's being a jerk. He doesn't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I drop it down, if I drop it up, I don't think he likes that. I drop it down.
Yeah,
So
that's smart.
curious.
That's smart.
Yeah. So
Right?
that's I learned that on my own, but you would actually give that advice.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
I mean,
So
women need to
Jen,
be talked to in a certain way, and men need to be talked to in a certain way. So for Jen to talk with him gently and say, there's something really important to me, and I need a very small change, and I greatly appreciate it. Okay? And then she might actually shelve it for a moment and say, before I ask you what it is, I want to know, is there anything you need in this relationship to feel better?
okay. So
Right?
he's gonna tell her that before she asks.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's going to listen really well. And if it's a
Right,
big
Jen?
thing,
You're gonna listen. Yeah.
listen.
She
And
wants
that's
to come
something
on so bad. Do you want me to
we'll,
try to bring you on? I I think she wants to come on. She's in the back. We're gonna try. All right, we're just gonna try. Are you there? Can you see us?
there she is.
Oh, it's stuttering. But
Yeah, it is stuttering, honey.
that I was trying to communicate. I am not kidding.
Yeah, it's stuttering, honey. You're.
I get along.
Can you if you text me, and I'll ask. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I can't hear you.
I-
All right,
Yeah,
dude. Okay.
frustrating, isn't it?
I know. I
So,
know.
so yeah,
Well, I have, well, so this can segue into this question. So Jim asks, how can I talk about certain issues with my partner without it turning into an argument?
wow, that's a wonderful question, and
And
I love that question because so many people get into trouble with that, and actually, that's what's contained in the course I've created that we'll talk about a bit later, right?
yeah.
Because it's when there's a problem, problems have pain associated with them. And when a problem comes up, the pain in both partners is activated, which is
Okay.
very difficult, right? Especially if it's one of these little problems that's happened 10,000 times before, right? There's a lot of
Right. Like you
built up.
clearly know you're going to set me off when you put stuff on the stairs.
Exactly.
You clearly know I'm going to get upset.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
Like you know because every time I yell. But that's probably the issue, right?
right. Now, yelling does not create understanding, and it doesn't create openness, an openness for a partner to influence. It actually pushes away and causes partners to shut down and shut down to listening. So actually, it just interferes with potential improvements, right?
Well, those who watched the show that you were on last month, and if you recall, I had a similar situation, and I know my husband's watching and he just is going to laugh about this, but it's true. He left a bag on my front step. And Carrie, who's going to be on later, knows because she stepped over it for months. And I didn't yell at him. I thought, I'm just going to let this fly. And everybody's going to walk by this bag and we're just going to see what happens because I'm exhausted. And so you asked me to ask him why he left the bag there. And this Andrew, is the answer. I didn't know where to put it.
There you go.
What? It's office supplies. They go in your office. But I didn't know where to put it. I didn't have a place for it, so I left it there until I figured out a place for it. So in his mind, and he's a very intelligent man, I'm just letting you know. But in his mind, it was not malicious, it was not spiteful, it was not any of those things. He just didn't know where to put it.
And Veronica,
Yes.
for your husband, and what is your husband's name?
Chris.
For Chris, it wasn't a problem.
Nope.
Nope. He was fine with it there. That was the
Fine with
place,
it.
the place for it.
Socks on the floor,
before-
no problem.
No problem.
No
But-
problem.
If it bothers you, now there's a problem.
But I
Mhm.
tried a different approach this time.
Oh, how'd it work?
It didn't. It was an epic fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
By doing nothing.
By doing nothing. If I failed. So that didn't work either.
So maybe next time, would you let him know that it's a problem?
Well, normally that's what I do.
Okay.
And that doesn't work either. And then
All
it
right,
turns into
then-
an argument. And then sometimes I just move it because it's a problem for me and it's not a problem for him. So I just move it. But I'm not happy about moving it.
Right.
And then a paper cut forms.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have to change that, Veronica.
I know.
Maybe
I
a
don't-
discussion about influence. To say, honey,
Yeah.
I want to be really important to you. So let's talk about the ways that I can influence you. So I am getting the message that I'm important. Right?
Yeah.
That's necessary. I think we all have to feel important in our love relationships, like we're heard, like we matter, especially our feelings, right? So we're protected. Our partner shows his or her love for the partner by protecting us from being hurt, right? Wouldn't that be nice?
Be so
That would be,
nice.
yeah,
It seems like it's just a bag, but it's so much more than a bag. It's
yeah,
so much more than those things on the stairs.
that's
It's
right.
so much more than the trash or the dishes in the sink or all
It's
the
the
other
emotion.
issues. It's all the
Yes.
other issues that all these partners out there are dealing with. Because I hear about it. My friends talk about it.
It's pain, Veronica. It's pain.
It's pain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have another guest, Carrie, who would like to come on and ask you a question or two. And I'm going to add her to the stream. Hello,
Hi.
Carrie.
Hi,
Hi,
Andrew.
Carrie.
How
How are you? It's
Carrie?
nice to have you back.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
He's going to be back all the time.
I know,
Carrie,
I
every
heard.
month. How exciting is that?
Very exciting.
I know. We're going to
We
just
really
help
we
the
need his
world
advice in the Tri-Town and beyond.
and beyond. We're going to spread love all over the world on the VTalks. with
We're going to
Dr.
make a
or
lot
love
of
Dr.
happy
Aaron.
marriages, right?
We-
We're going to have a lot
We
of
all
happy
need
marriages.
help. We all need help with love because love finds the places in us that are most weak. And we always bump into our limitations when we try to love. We all can grow in that area. And our love relationships bring that out in us, right? So that's
Yes.
why they always challenge us. Yeah, they're very difficult.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carrie, what is your question for Andrew?
So I have a question about trying, like you spoke with Jen, trying to find the right time to have a conversation with your boyfriend, your spouse. I feel like I'm reactionary, which
Mhm.
you've already covered, which is probably not the best time to be upset. When the garbage is overflowing, I probably shouldn't say, "Hey, jackass, did you see the garbage
Yeah,
is overflowing?"
Probably not. Probably
Like,
not.
I've got 10 things to do here, and you just walked by the trash that was flowing out of the thing, or the towels. Did you see that when you went to get a shower, the towels aren't there? They're probably in the dryer. Did you take a look? Maybe we'd all like to have towels, but I've got 10 other things I got to do
I'm feeling some anger
over here. So
No paper cuts there.
I would
Right?
I'm
love.
feeling anger coming from the Kerry.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm all about the toolbox,
Mhm.
and I like to have good tools in the toolbox.
So
What
we
are the
need some
tools that you
tools.
need?
Yeah, we
What
need
are the
some
tools you need,
tools.
Carrie?
What could be a better way for me to talk to my partner? When or how could I do a better job of having a conversation with my partner?
Okay. Of course, you answered a great question already, and that was, is it a good thing to talk to my partner when I'm upset? And well, I think that the issues are most alive then, and so they're the most relevant, but the odds of expressing yourself in a way that results in solutions, effective communication, no, that's pretty low at that moment. So probably it's best to wait till you have calmed down the intense emotions so you don't express yourself intensely, because that's not
So,
effective, right?
so right here, I'd like to just kind of chime in if you don't mind. So there's garbage overflowing. Carrie is ready to lose her mind, and you aren't supposed to talk about it then. So walk me through the next 5 minutes.
It could go a number of ways, Veronica. It could include emptying the garbage so you're not upset by the garbage, and then make a mental note. Later today, I'm going to talk about how that's a problem, but we have a number of factors here. One is, how do we divide up the responsibilities of the house? And I'm a strong advocate of partners owning tasks. So it's not left up to who's in the mood, or is there a right moment? Is there a convenient time?
So like a chore
Because,
list. Like you each
well,
have your
it could be
chores,
a
like
chore
you would,
list, or it
like
could
you would
be
do for the
saying,
kids, or
in my home, I own the garbage. That's my job. I empty the garbage. I put the garbage out. That's my job. I own that job. Therefore, if it doesn't get done, I take the hit. Everyone knows that's my job. So if I fail to do it, it would be my responsibility or my mistake, right? I think that if partners divide up the chores and each knows who's responsible for what, now it's not left up to indiscretion or
Yeah,
opportunity. It's
that's a good.
actually,
That's a
it's a
good
great
thought.
idea, right?
Yeah,
so I think that's more likely to be successful, but I think it's great to have a designated time for partners each week to have a problem-solving discussion. And that's a time that both partners know in advance. That way, you're not looking for that moment through the week to get your partner's undivided attention, or wait till your spouse is in the right mood to bring up something that would be unpopular, right? Which
right.
that can lead to a blowout in which not only does it not solve the problem, but creates a whole lot of more problems. And that's exactly what we don't want, right?
Yeah.
So
I
it,
like that thought, V. That makes sense.
Right.
Like, just take out the trash, get it out of there because it's pissing you off,
exactly.
and don't make it stink about it in that moment, even though you don't really want to do it.
It's not fair.
You just gotta. It's not going to be useful.
That's right. I mean, we are powerful people, so we can make our environment the way we want, but we can also get caught up in our resentment and anger and just be pissed off that someone else isn't doing something. And I believe that we need to be the people that we can be proud of, right? To
And
be strong and loving.
and you know, I will say that I'm going to speak for the moms out here, and Carrie, you can probably relate to this on so many levels. But you know, we have moms out there that are working from home, dads working from home, kids are homeschooling. You know, it's just everyone's in the house. laundry needs to be done, kids need to be handled, everybody has their work responsibilities. So it's really, really difficult, I think,
It
for a
is.
lot of families right now.
Yeah.
And there's
Yes.
probably, I can't, I thankfully am not in that situation at this moment. And my heart goes out to all the families that are. What advice could you give to those families that are struggling through pandemic times, and what should they do
Well, they need
other than taking a
to,
course, which I'm going to talk about later?
they need to get out of the house sometimes. They need to take walks where, they're not encountering crowds. So, there's plenty of social distancing. There needs to be some time of physical exercise because that really helps to reduce stress, right? They need to have relaxing downtime. I'm a strong proponent of meditation. I think when we deliberately choose to relax, we help to reduce our intensity, and that can help us then to talk about problems. I think, just like I was saying, Kerry, about couples, also families can have family meetings.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah,
especially in this time.
Oh my
Like
gosh, yes.
maybe you have to be more like, Johnny, I need your help. Like, this is a whole new thing for us. So if you could do A, B, and C, that would make mommy so much of a better mommy.
right. But also to be very specific and clear, right?
Yeah.
People tend to use vague language and they don't understand why it doesn't accomplish anything. But real specific, right? Johnny, would you please empty the garbage twice a week, or empty the dishwasher once a day?
Or make your bed, or,
Right, by this time in the morning. Real specific. The more specific we are, the greater chance for success. All right.
That makes sense. That's good.
I'm also kind of delve into another topic based upon a question that I have here. Speaking of families and children, that I think is probably a huge issue that you've seen. What happens with couples that don't agree upon the same way to raise children? So you have couples that are not aligning on disciplinary issues, on screen
Big
time, on all of that. I have quite a few friends that have a lot of issues with that I feel are very damaging. What advice do you have there?
Okay.
I know it's kind of
It's
that's
one of the big
probably a whole
issues.
show.
one of the big ones. The big three are parenting, sex, and money. These are the things that couples get most hung up on, and parenting is one of the big ones. And oftentimes when we're talking about a couple made up of a father and a mother, we have very different parenting styles because men and women come to parenting in very different ways, right? And that's captured by a Spanish proverb that I often share with couples, and that is, mothers teach children how to love, fathers teach children how to operate with respect. And it's this very different approach that fathers and mothers often come at children with. And when a father demands respect or uses a degree of force or even expresses anger intensely, mothers often feel that they have to defend the children to that. And so mothers come to the defense of the children, and the husband or father feels like she doesn't have his back. And I see this dynamic a whole lot, and it becomes a huge conflict that then goes from the family and then enters the couple. And then husband and wife become embroiled in a conflict over this that often repeats, right? Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
And Andrew, and I don't have I'm really asking this because I really don't know.
Mhm.
Haven't parenting styles changed over the course of the decade or two? You know, is that true? Are we raising our children differently now than we did, let's say, 10, 20 years ago? In
When
a
it shows up in my office,
dis,
Veronica, I'll let you know.
It's the same.
I don't.
I ask because I just know how I was raised, and you know, we talked about that. Like you
I
just
think it differs from family to family. There are
okay.
some that are much more old school, right? And
Yeah, yeah. Like
strong
I was raised old
discipline,
school. Like you
strong
just
rules, and here's the line, and you don't dare cross this line, and it's strict punishments. I'd say that
grounded
most
again, V.
couples aren't like
Yep.
that
No
these
car
days.
keys.
Right?
Yeah.
However, there are a lot of couples where one spouse wants to deliver really large and harsh consequences, and the other one is like, no, we need to be more permissive, right? And that creates conflict.
Well, you also have to have follow through, Dr. Aaron.
Absolutely.
And
But I
sometimes
think
you're mad
that,
and you lay down the law and the husband forgets. We got to toe the line on this
And
kid.
then the car's not in the driveway, right, Carrie?
Then it's like
we
you
we
just took
took
his
this
computer
we
away
took
for
the
10
cell
days.
phone. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what I think can work is outside of a problem with the kids, when the problem isn't happening, a mom and a dad need to talk about what they can agree on as consequences for what kind of infractions, so
Yes.
that both parents already have an understanding about what kind of consequence they can deliver and know that the other is going to have their back, right? So when
Yeah, I mean
Absolutely.
that's what I kind of see is that the other parent doesn't have the back. You know what I
right,
mean? Like one, it's like they're almost yeah. Yeah,
right,
that's
and
what I
how
see.
about the moment where one parent is coming home and then the other one's leaving, and then the first one says to the other one, oh, this one's in timeout, or this one is this punishment, and now you have to enforce it, and they don't agree on that consequence. That's a really bad
Oh
spot,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a very bad spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So this
Um,
way, if they agree on kinds of consequences, that's avoided, and both parents can deliver consequences with confidence.
yeah, because
That feels really good.
the children are going to go with the most lenient parent. I know I would.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm going to get
I'm
my
going to
cell
Absolutely.
phone
ask
back.
Dad. That's what,
I'm going to get my cell phone back.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
whatever.
Mom always says yes, so I'm going to her.
Right, of course. Yeah, but then there's another paper cut.
But
I don't know. It
then
just came to me.
the
Yeah.
marriage then now holds that pain
Yeah.
of lack of teamwork, right? Because couples marriages are made up of teammates, of friends, and of lovers, and they have to be strong in all three phases to really be optimal, right?
Yeah.
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 So Veronica,
Yes.
did we hear back from Jen, and did we get a text from her?
We did not, but
Okay,
that's
all right,
okay.
all right.
Carrie,
yep.
do you have any more questions?
No, I'm good. I like that. All those ideas are going right in the little toolbox, Andy.
Okay. And
I know.
one further solution is to have a weekly problem solving discussion, right?
I like that idea.
And partners know ahead of time, okay, this is the time when I'll have my spouse or my romantic partner's full undivided attention, and both will know, okay, we're going to talk about problems, and that means problems bring up pain. Every problem has pain associated with it. And there's a special way to talk to your spouse and to listen carefully, and how to use language. So when we're talking about these painful situations, these unresolved problems, we can talk about it without the risk of escalation, right? We can actually solve problems. And in the course that you're going to talk about a little later, Veronica, I teach couples how a whole protocol about how to use language, how to respond, how to listen, and how to operate so that in a problem-solving discussion, partners can actually team up to effectively solve problems instead of getting into disagreements and touching pain and provoking pain, and then, of course, escalating in a large argument that makes more problems instead of solving the ones that they already have. Right.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, very
Thank
important.
you. Thank you. Carrie, thank you as always for
Thank
coming
you.
on board.
And I'll see you in a month, Dr. Andrew.
Hey, so nice to see you, Kerry. I'm looking forward to next month when I'll see you again.
Okay.
And we talk about his new book.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
I know. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye, Carrie. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. That was so helpful. So I have another question that just came through here. All right. So Sandy asks, how can I get my partner to express his feelings? So I'm under the impression that she tries, she has a conversation with him, and he says everything is fine, but she knows that it's not fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a common problem and a challenging one too, Veronica, because so many of my brothers have great difficulty being aware of what they're feeling inside. And as a group, my fellow men are not nearly as emotionally intelligent as you and other women. And so oftentimes when our female partner asks us what we're feeling, we can take a day, 2 or 3 days to actually figure it out. But our female partners have access. You have access to your feelings like right away.
Yeah,
And
like I
that's
want to know, like now. I asked you,
Yeah.
and I want the answer now.
Yeah, but it
Right.
really takes us that long.
You just don't love me.
Yeah,
No.
that's the net result of it.
Right.
That's the interpretation,
You know I'm playing,
right?
but
You're
it's
holding
comedy
out.
relief, but yeah.
Why won't you talk to me?
Yeah.
Instead of being patient and to realize he may be actually working hard to understand what he's actually feeling, and he actually may not be able to access that until the next day.
Wow.
So
this
if,
is how men are wired?
yes,
Really?
many, not all, but many. Yep.
So they don't even know they have feelings when you ask them a question?
Most men are not aware of many of their emotions. They have them deeper down, but they're not nearly as aware as women are. So women think, you just don't want to share with me, you're holding out. But that's actually not the case. So if she
So
says,
do you give them like, we'll revisit this on Tuesday? Like,
well, if she does say, listen, there's something I want to know about you, this is what I'm concerned of, and I can sense it, but I want to learn from you more about you. Could you think about it, and tomorrow we have a discussion? Because I want to understand you better.
and so at that point, will he think about it?
Well, he will think, but it's not thinking, because emotions are not thinking. He would have to look deeper in himself and access his feelings, not his thinking.
Okay.
And that's what men have a hard time doing. Right? I joke that men
How are we together?
I know we're
Right?
so different. We're so different.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Men have 4 basic emotions, right? Everything's okay, right?
Yeah.
That's their predominant emotion. The other one is I'm angry.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is I'm hungry or tired,
Yeah.
or sometimes interested. They're horny.
Yeah.
And then the last one usually is I feel like having a beer or watching SportsCenter. Those are about the
That
4
might be
basic
one.
emotions. Yeah.
and not in a particular order.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
So then
So,
if she is going to actually say, okay, I'm just going to listen to learn about you, and she doesn't talk so much, she just listens,
in
right?
a, or when she asks though in a lower voice.
A lower voice and a short question,
Yeah.
right? And it could start by asking him about something that's not so emotionally challenging, right? Like, I'd like to understand how you feel about this. And she just allows quietness, because so many wives and female partners are so good at expressing words that often male partners are very comfortable just not saying anything and taking the back seat. And then female partners will rush in and start saying things, and he doesn't have to say anything at all.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning of the show, we talked about all of these things that are going on, all these little paper cuts that are happening in the living room. How does this segue into the bedroom?
Okay. Well, sex is something that, as I said before, is very holistic, right? Who we are as sexual beings is influenced by all parts of ourselves. Everything that happens to us, everything that happens in the relationship, everything that happens emotionally and energetically and physically, because to be good lovers, it involves all the systems of our being. So when couples are accumulating pain in their love relationship and they're not functioning well as a team to understand each other and to be compassionate to the other, which are forms of draining away the pain, when the pain accumulates in the relationship, emotional disconnection occurs. And one aspect of this, of course, is romantic non-communication, when communication has broken down and partners can't talk to each other without inciting an escalated conflict, right? In which there's hurt or negativity or attitude, right?
Yeah.
And when this happens, partners feel that lovemaking, it's not appropriate. The relationship doesn't support the vulnerability and openness of intimacy, because intimacy requires, for it to be great, complete openness by both partners. And partners who are filled with pain do not open up. They don't want to be vulnerable to somebody who hurts them. So unfortunately, when there's romantic non-communication, which is just a symptom that there's too much unresolved pain in the relationship, which is so sad, right? Couples can do far better than this. Then one of the first things that happen is the lovemaking evaporates. It becomes less frequent, or it dries up and it's gone. And then partners might not even realize, gee, it's been weeks or even a month since we've gotten close like that, right? And even if they try, there isn't the emotional connection. It's kind of a mechanical experience that's rather dry, that's not really alive. It's kind of what I'd call a zombie relationship. It's happening, but it's not really alive, right? It's bodies doing what bodies do, but there isn't the passionate or the real close loving connection that partners really need to celebrate each other, right? And so that's what happens. It really is very sad, Veronica.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about a program, a course that you have developed for couples that they can take in the privacy of their own home. They don't have to go to your office. They aren't on a Zoom call. They're not vulnerable in the sense that somebody is like listening to what's going on in their relationship. Can you talk a little bit about this and what someone can expect if they buy into this course?
Absolutely. It can be accessed through my website. And as you just put on the screen, it's called We Just Can't Communicate. And I designed this course because that is the number one thing that people call when they reach out to me, because they're in so much pain or they're desperate because they don't feel close to the one they love, right? Or they're so disappointed that their relationship isn't close. And this is the symptom of the problem, that partners can no longer communicate effectively. So I titled it, We Just Can't Communicate. And it is a 14 lesson course that can be taken right through my website. And
Helpforpassion.com.
is the website, thank you.
Yep.
And it's a total of 2.5 hours of my voice and lessons that I go through that talks about why couples get into this deep, dark spot. It's like a pit from which the walls are so steep and slippery they can't climb out. And it becomes so hopeless when partners try to break through and try to have a discussion where they're going to be understood. But so often it bumps into the partner's pain, and then very quickly listening is no longer happening. So there are parts of the course that are all about listening and understanding. It's all about partner pain and why it builds up, and how partners unintentionally operate in a way that results in pain just building in the relationship and walls building up between partners that prevent them from feeling close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I think this is a really good course for people to take for many reasons. As I mentioned before, I think, some couples, maybe one of them might be open to going to therapy, but maybe the other partner is not open to going to therapy, right? And so what do you do then? It's tough,
Right.
And so I think something like this would help so many couples
I'm hoping so.
privately try and work it out that way first, and get comfortable. And maybe the partner that isn't comfortable, once they meet you on, through this, might be open, to a personal session. So I think it was a brilliant idea. And because we're on the V Talks, you are actually offering a discount to our viewers. So for 24 hours, there is a code.
A coupon code.
A coupon code on the ticker. Wait, I wonder if I should put this somewhere else. I hope you
There
can
it
see
is.
that. There it is. Effective communication.
However, it's all one word. Effective communication is the coupon code.
Let me try and fix that. I don't know if I can.
I'm so excited for all the questions that have been asked, and the eager partners who just want their relationship to be a whole lot better and to feel in less pain. And you can get some help without the expense of coming to see me. And many partners can solve a lot of the problems just by using this course. And those who want to get additional help, they've already created a foundation for positive change. So they will end up maybe spending less money on solving these problems than if they came directly to my office from the start. And so I'm offering this course to VTalk attendees for the next 24 hours, a coupon code to get $100 off this course called We Just Can't Communicate, by typing in all one word, effective communication. And it can be accessed through my website, which is helpforpassion.com. That's help, F-O-R, passion.com.
And if there are any glitches, they can just give you a call, right? And you'll honor the coupon when you go on the website. Yeah. So you can also call him. His number is there. I've been on his website. It's very easy, user friendly. And then I want to talk about one more thing.
Okay.
Because you are on the show now once a month. And you have some exciting news. You are launching your new book. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really fabulous. and you're going to tell us about your new book. We have a few minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, the book has just launched. It is now on Amazon, and it's designed to help a lot of the men who might be listening. However, of course, if the men are helped, then it'll help the relationships too. And it's for men who are challenged with the very difficult problem of struggling to perform when they get behind closed doors in the bedroom and hope to succeed at getting close and performing well and having a satisfying experience. So for those men who struggle with the issue of performance anxiety, which is a debilitating, very embarrassing problem that also hurts and frustrates female partners, the book I wrote is called When Soft is Hard, right? It's a book, it's a course, but in the form of a book that's designed to help couples, and specifically the men, escape from the cycle of anxiety-based performance anxiety, a very difficult, painful problem.
Well, and you know, some of it might stem from some of the things we talked about today.
Absolutely, it does.
You know, and then it compounds, right? Because then there's trouble, and then
it does.
She's crying,
it
and
becomes
then
a
he
downward
doesn't.
spiral.
Yeah, like he doesn't love me. This is happening. So you see that, and then there's more
Absolutely.
anxiety, which brings more of that. You know, it's a very challenging topic, and I applaud you for going into that arena and actually writing a book about it, because I think, you know, I mean, obviously it's a huge issue.
Huge
You
issue.
see, you see a lot in your practice, so I guess you recognize that, which
Well,
is why
of
you
course,
wrote the
being a
book.
therapist,
Yeah.
couples come to me with all kinds of sources of dysfunction, and because it's intimate in nature, it is so sharply shameful. It is so painful and
Of course,
embarrassing.
yeah,
And so a lot of
yeah.
couples don't get help. And then, as you said, it becomes part of a cycle of pain that couples can't get out of. And I'll tell you, Veronica, it can last decades, and it really
Yeah.
destroys connection. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's so
please
sad.
get help, and in our next show we'll talk a lot more about that very, very difficult challenge that I'll tell you what, a lot of couples don't really talk about.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. And for what I'm gonna do, when this podcast is over, I'll go ahead and add links on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel to your website and the course We Just Can't Communicate.
Thank you.
I will do all of that. And actually, if you send me a link to your book, I don't have that right now, but to the Amazon link, I can go ahead and pop that up there too.
Okay.
You know.
And the book there's an image of the book on the website as well.
Yeah, I'll get all that on there.
Okay.
And then again, if you sign up for Andrew's course within the next 24 hours, use the coupon code Effective Communication, all one word. The producer, Veronica, did not do that here on the screen, but it is all one word, Effective Communication. If it does not work, just give him a call. He'll totally honor it. It'll be fine. So nice to see you.
Very nice to be here, Veronica.
Lovely
Thank you.
conversation. I will see you in the second Tuesday of February.
See you in February.
All righty. Take care, honey.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Whoop. I always do this. Why do I do that? There I am. I am not very good at being a producer sometimes. Thank you so much for listening to us here on V Talks. We had a great conversation with Andrew Aaron, and as I said earlier, we will see him next month, the second Tuesday, and he will be back to talk about the topic of the uncomfortable topic of performance anxiety, and he will be promoting his new book regarding that subject. Please visit us next Tuesday. We have our guest ghost hunter, writer, producer, radio personality Tim Weisberg will be here on the V Talks, so that's going to be pretty exciting, and we're going to talk about scary things and his work at our local radio station Fun 107 and his work on the Discovery Channel and the Weather Channel. So this should be a very interesting topic, and I can't wait for that as well. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.